Alright everyone, we have absolutely sheer gaslighting going on here. In fact, I can't find a single example that I know of bigger gaslighting from the legacy media and the political elite. Claiming that Kamalaharris wasn't actually the border czar, because of course she was literally named border czar. Even the legacy media reported on it at the time years ago. That was at the dawn of the Biden stewardship. She was literally proclaimed border czar. She was responsible for overseeing the U.S. border in the general sense of the notion. Not in the day-to-day sense like literally patrolling the border with a Glock or something like that, but she was responsible in general for oversight over the border, for policy and making suggestions for how to make the border better. She failed at this. She was completely delinquent in this role. We all know this. We've seen the reporting. You can literally look up archives of the goddamn legacy media itself. Fuck, I should probably dig back through my videos. I'm sure that I talked about it more than once. There's got to be an archive somewhere. Maybe one of you can do that. Just look up Border Czar on my channel or something like that. I'm sure that there's a video there. It's quite clear that they're circling wagons and gaslighting. They desperately want Kamala to be elected. And that's because, you know, they'd be more lucrative for them. They don't want Orange Man back because Orange Man might actually make meaningful policy changes that benefit people. What's better for the legacy media, when things are going right or things are going wrong? Which reporting gets more ad clicks? I wonder why they'd be rooting for the evil team. And that's what it is at this moment. Kamalaharris is a straight-up fucking psychopath, and she was border czar. Well, it still is border czar as well. She was responsible for policy guidance with regards to this issue. The U.S. border is a mess. Ergo, this doesn't even touch Joe Biden for the most part. He doesn't do the day-to-day, other than getting briefings and doing diplomacy and stuff and signing or vetoing bills. The president actually needs to delegate a lot of responsibilities to other people. While the buck always stops there, the vice president, if you name that individual border czar, and they literally used that term several years ago, so I'm not going to be gaslit into ignoring the fact that that's actually a thing. Doesn't matter if it's an official title, like an official role, that was the term that was used. You're put in charge by the President of the United States of generally overseeing the border. So you're getting briefings, you're supposedly visiting the border. She did that exactly twice for a very limited period of time in order to get selfies more than anything. You're designated to meet with officials that are tasked with border shit, the head of ICE, etc., and to try to take advice and give advice, to outline policies to take care of illegal immigration at the border. That was the entire goal of that role. I'm not going to be gaslit into thinking otherwise. The fact that the legacy media repeats the same line over and over again may fool some people, but it doesn't fool me. You yourselves were using that same term. Doesn't matter whether it's an official or like an official employed position where you get a salary for being border czar. Okay, it's an unofficial title. You use the title. You did it yourselves. So fucking fuck off, basically. It's gaslighting on level red. Totally 10 out of 10 gaslighting levels that I'm seeing right now. Fucking Newsweek right now. They're lying about basically everything under the sun. I used to think that Newsweek was a little bit more neutral than that, actually. Like sometimes they actually did journalism. Now they're just parroting far-left talking points over and over and over again, hours and hours over and over all day. It's quite a sight to behold, actually. Supposedly, Trump voters are fleeing to the Harris ticket. No, I don't think so. Some independents that lean left might go for her more than they went for Joe, but then she probably trades it off against right-leaning independents that have at least mild TDS. So, I mean, the polls haven't changed at all. So, we're seeing nothing but gaslighting. We're also seeing selective and push polling at the moment. We're seeing wall-to-wall propaganda as they try to groom Kamalaharris to be the next president of the United States. Why? So they can start some wars and shit like that, probably. War is always good for ad clicks, too. Yeah, when things go wrong, things go well for the people that are talking about the things going wrong. There's a reason why this is a non-black pill channel. I prefer not to take the filthy money of constant fear-mongering and talking about everything negative in the world, unless it has to do with psychopathic politicians. Then, okay, that's perfectly fine. That's up my alley. Now, there's a huge border crisis, and Kamala was tasked with informally overseeing the proceedings down there. She's supposed to have done something about this by now. You've had years. You've failed fundamentally. You've got more and more border crossings. You've got more and more fentanyl coming in. You've literally had instances where you've detained terrorists that have illegally entered the country. Certainly plenty of cartel members. I'm not so worried, by the way, about the fact that they detained a bunch of terrorists at the southern border. I'm worried about the ones they didn't catch and detain. That's what I worry about. Hey, are they like the Trump shooter, are they manufacturing military-grade explosives right now? Or maybe they decided once they saw the land of the free and ate a hot dog for the first time, they're like, I guess America's not really the great Satan. Now they just sell drugs or something like that. What's going on with this? Millions and millions of people entering the country illegally. Well, you did such a good job in your informal role as the totally not border czar that you were literally minted as by the legacy media several years ago. By the way, I have a feeling that it was Jill Biden's idea to give her that particular role. I think Biden probably didn't give a shit. He probably didn't even want to have a border czar because he's fucking incompetent. Or it would have been Buttigieg or something like that. But Jill said, no, Joe, I think that Kamala over there would be perfect for the most ignominious possible role you could give her within the administration, because she's sure to not be able to solve the problem and it'll make her look bad. Jill, I have a 99% chance that it was Jill Biden's idea. She and Kamala fucking viscerally hate each other. Jill right now is probably fuming over the entire situation. I'm not surprised. I don't fucking blame her. I don't like the bitch, but I can't blame her in that particular sense. Just saying. She's like the old white plantation mom, and her staunch, upright, nifty 50s, bigoted white husband is forced to choose this darker person, the person of darker complexion, as running mate, because they remind him, you're an old white dude, and that's not really hip for the Dem party, so you're going to need to choose a person of color. That's exactly what happened. Oh, the story writes itself. So yeah, now they're trying to claim that, no, Kamala really didn't have anything to do with the border. She wasn't border czar. She was just tasked with overseeing the day-to-day operations at the border and constantly being in the frame of reference of talking to people at the border in order to try to coordinate things. But she wasn't border czar. She was just basically in charge of the border. Those are two different things now, aren't they? That's about all. Peace out.